We're beginning the bulletin with breaking news that's now coming in. This is with regards to Supreme Court now pulling up comics. This is stand-up comics for mocking specially abled. The SC observes and has said that commercial speech isn't free speech. Beer Biceps and Samay Raina has been pulled up by the SC again, and the Supreme Court has come out to say there is guidelines needed at this given point for social media language. This is the big breaking that we're bringing to you, a social responsibility that comes with free speech, especially for personalities of the kind that we're speaking of, stand-up comedians who in fact end up having a large audience, a large fan base. They have to be more careful. There needs to be a set of guidelines which will be in place to check what the borderline will be. Draw a red line for them which will not be crossed and in fact go on the other side when we speak of these very comments that are coming in from them that may in fact end up being vulgar at some point. So that line needs to be drawn at this given point. That is what the Supreme Court has come out to say. They've been pulled up. The stand-up comics have been pulled up. We've seen only in the past month there has been a huge uproar over a certain set that was done by these group of comedians on a show which had caused a huge uproar in the nation with regards to the things they had said in that very set of theirs on the show, which in fact did not go down well with the public. And social responsibility is what needs to be looked at. Anisha Mathur joining me from the newsroom at this given point. Anisha, very good afternoon to you. You know, the court has come out to say that there needs to be a set of guidelines. What will in fact define what is funny and not foul? That difference needs to be drawn somewhere. That is what the court seems to be saying. Please put it into further context and give us some more details.
Well, see, if you look at what has been happening in the Supreme Court in this comedian's matter for the last several months, the Supreme Court has said that this is not, first of all, the big takeaway from today's hearing is the court drawing a line between free speech and commercial speech. The court has very clearly said that these comedians who are using these platforms to earn money, this is not free speech. They are not protected by free speech laws. This is commercial speech and therefore when there is an intersection between commercial speech and prohibited speech which is hurting somebody, these people must be hauled up. And that is why the court has asked them now to display an apology on their social media posts, on their YouTube channels. They've also warned of a financial penalty that will be there. But most importantly, the court has asked the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting to set up some sort of guidelines which will regulate the language that is used. Remember, initially the matter had come up when Ranveer Alavadia's comedy sketch about parents had gone viral and had created a lot of uproar. Then Samay Raina's joke about persons with disabilities prompted parents of children who have spinal muscular atrophy to come to the Supreme Court saying that their children, their disabilities are being actively mocked, which is what prompted the court to say today that you cannot use humor to hurt people. That is not where humor lies. In fact, I'm going to just read out the comment that the court has made. Justice Joy Malia Bagchi in fact said that humor is a part of life. We can laugh at ourselves, but when we start laughing at others, and apartheid claims are made on humor, that humor is generated on persons to hurt persons, that causes a problem. Influencers must realize that when you commercialize speech, then the community at large cannot be used to hurt people or hurt sections of society. So very clearly the court now asking the INB ministry to create guidelines. The court also noting that news media, traditional media as it is governed under press laws as well as the NBDSA and other organizations which regulate speech made on news media. But when it comes to social media, it is completely unregulated, and that's why the court has now asked for guidelines to be made and for these persons in particular to put out an apology and tell the court what they will do to sort of raise awareness about these children as well. Back to you.
Right. Anisha, I have two questions for you here at this point. Number one being, just for the clarity of our viewers, we are speaking of two kinds of speech here, commercial speech and free speech. how are we defining this and what exactly lies in the ambit of free speech, which in fact does not end up protecting these comedians and the kind of comments they end up making in their sets?
See, when you look at how commercial speech is defined, we've seen the Supreme Court and High Court verdicts coming in when it comes to movies, when it comes to documentaries, etc. Anything that is used to earn money and influence persons, it can be counted within commercial speech. And there are guidelines, there are judgments of the Supreme Court. Particularly, in fact, today's hearing also, the court had had cited the judgment in the Ajay Devgan case where movies were counted as commercial speech and not free speech, and therefore the Supreme Court had in multiple cases said that there are certain kinds of language that should not be used when there is commercial speech, that there are certain responsibilities and restrictions that have to be there. In fact, that is where the Cinematograph Act, for that matter, censorship comes in, because this is commercial speech, so this is not free speech. So therefore, if you're earning from it, then you can be held responsible to the larger public, that you shouldn't create something that either hurts someone or causes some disputes or causes inter-religious or inter-caste disputes. Back to you.
Right, Anisha. Thank you for bringing us those details and in fact defining what commercial and free speech respectively is. Viewers, this is all the update that we have so far on this very story, and we'll keep a close track as the day proceeds.